Welcome to Powered by Her, exploring the stories of how area women power their business. Hear from the growing network of female entrepreneurs of the Upper Cumberland with your host, Tiffany Anton, director at the Biz Foundry. Powered by Her starts now.
Hello, you're listening to Powered by Her in the Hints and Oakley Podcast Center. I'm Tiffany Anton, and today I have Kelly Sullivan, who does many things, but your main business is a Mary Kay business, correct?
That is correct.
So you are, what is your current title?
My current title is, I just received a promotion July 1st. So I'm a senior sales director in Mary Kay Cosmetics.
Senior sales director. So the thing with that is interesting is that you just said you received a promotion.
Yes.
So you someone else gave you that promotion. But yet you have your business. This is your business that you're marketing. You have your different strategies. You have different ways. And so I'm going to jump right in right now.
Okay.
And it's, to me, in my world of entrepreneurship and helping run an entrepreneur center, it's a huge debate whether direct sales are entrepreneurship. And so sell me on it. Sway me.
Okay. All right. So when I did say that I just received a promotion, I gave myself the promotion. Okay. And so Mary Kay Cosmetics is a multi-level company. So that means that I sell products directly to our customer, and I also build a team that sells products to our customer. Okay. And so we earn our profit level from our customers, and then we earn commissions from our team members. Mm-hmm. So the reason that I consider direct sales an entrepreneur job is that we have to build our client base. Our client base does not come to us. We actually have to go out, get the leads, hustle, use referrals, you get into the community, get into nail salons and beauty salons and doctor's offices. And we have to build a business. It's not, kind of look at it like a franchise. You know, when you do a franchise, you still have to open the store. You have to put in the money. You have to put in the time, and you receive a profit from that. And that's kind of what Mary Kay is, or direct sales.
There are some regulations that you have to follow through Mary Kay, but there's a lot of autonomy that you have as well.
Correct. So we're an independent beauty consultant. So even though Mary Kay has guidelines of what we can and can't do, so online selling is a no-no. So no eBay, no Amazon, no anything like that. But if you have a personal, private Facebook page, you can sell on there. So there are guidelines, but honestly, if I only wanted to sell online in my private groups, I could do that. If I only wanted to sell face-to-face, I could do that.
Well, in some of the events that you do are something that maybe other people don't do. You have done, so a couple years ago was Mary Kay's 100th birthday, correct? And
yes.
So your goal was what? Tell me about that.
That event, we wanted to get 100 faces in the Cookeville area. So not only it was me and my group, but we had other directors involved, and we were trying to do 100 faces in the day. We got close, but we didn't quite hit it. But
that was just a marketing tool that you used to get people who may not, and that was a free makeovers.
Free.
So people were coming in, and you did me,
yes,
and my 2 children, and so you know that was a definitely a marketing tool that you just said, I'm gonna get these people in the door and touch base with them, and that's not necessarily something that someone in Michigan might have done.
Correct.
That was something you came up with as the business owner. You know, your own business owner. So there's a lot of autonomy that you have as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And is there other pieces of it besides marketing that you feel like is more autonomous?
Well, in the Mary Kay direct sales, we are in control of our profit. So we don't wait for the company to pay us for what we've sold. As soon as we purchase our products from the company, we're in control of our profit. So instead of if I decide to discount the products, that's me discounting my profit, versus going through the company and then they cut me a check back, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, depending on how much I hustle, that's how much I'm going to pay myself, in profit and seeing the faces. Now, Mary Kay, or in my direct sales, it is about a business. It is about growing, but it's also about enriching the lives of others. It's about making a woman that maybe has not put on makeup or used skincare, making them feel good. So some of our appointments, that's different about maybe my business, than a corporate business is that I get to make people feel good. And it may not pay me immediately, but it'll pay me years down the road.
In the long run.
Yeah.
So, how did you get the skills so that discount and that profit, controlling that?
Yes.
There's a big balance with entrepreneurs knowing to see that payoff. So I'm going to discount this item. I'm going to get less of a profit on this item. And yet I'm going to hope that this makes this person come back time and time again.
Yes.
So how do you know the numbers to know, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do? What's beneficial to me?
Yes. So Mary Kay is a huge mentorship as far as the corporation or the incorporated. So I was taught by my leadership in my line. And I get, as a sales director, I call myself a business coach. So as new consultants come in, not only am I teaching them about the products and how to apply them for their customers, I'm also teaching them the business aspects of it. So I'm teaching them to make sure that they pull aside for their supplies. They pull that part for the shipping. They pull apart what they're paying themselves and cutting themselves a check each week. So being a business coach and really, everything that I have learned has been through, of course, I have a banking side of me too. So that helps in my business, and it helps me to share that knowledge with consultants to make them successful.
Yeah, that number aspect that's something that either you have it or you say, I don't know.
Right.
And you really try and have somebody else really help you with that.
Yes.
So that's a huge tool as an entrepreneur that you have in your tool belt.
Right.
So take me back. When did you start when did you first hear Mary Kay?
Okay, so back in 2009, I was working for Farm Credit as a lender in the agricultural world. And if you go back to 2009, that was when the recession hit. So loaning money and being in the recession was not a very fun time, right? Everything was kind of negative. Mary Kay to me was that bright, shining light.
A pink beacon.
I know,
of light.
right? It was like a pink bubble that allowed me to get through the weeks of some of that negativity because in our business, we get together as business owners, we lift each other up and we celebrate. So for the first, I guess about 2 years, I really grew my business, grew my customer base.
Let's back up even before that. So 2009, were you a consultant at that time?
I was an independent beauty consultant. Okay, so I had no team members, strictly just profit and sales.
What made you even to say, okay, I'm going to be an independent beauty consultant? I think I could make some money doing this.
Well, I went to an event. It was in Knoxville, and we actually went to a movie theater, and Mary Kay Corporate was broadcasting something across to the entire nation that day. And
were you using the products yourself?
I was using the product.
Okay, but you had not sold anything.
I had not sold anything at that point. But just being around the people, a group of encouraging women that say, hey, you can do this, is really what made me make the decision. But also knowing that we make the largest profit margin in direct sales, that was a big selling point too, of when I was deciding. I see you have a question.
Did you ever consider any other sort of direct sales?
I did not.
This was just, you felt passionate about this specific
Correct.
product.
Because Mary Kay's also has priorities of God first, family second, career third. And that means a lot to me. And so the fact that I could make a very large profit margin, the fact that they had the same priorities that I did, the fact that I could work it in part-time hours, and when in part-time in Mary Kay is 2 to 4 hours a week. So working in part-time hours, or if I wanted to go full blown out, I came in and I also thought in today's society, I think every corporate woman needs to have a plan B. And so even though I did love my lending, I needed a plan B if that were to take a turn.
We're going to talk about that plan B in just a second. You're listening to Powered by Her in the Hints and Oakley Podcast Center. I have Kelly Sullivan from Mary Kay, an independent beauty consultant here in Cookeville, Tennessee. And so your plan B is interesting to me because that's part of this direct sales kind of debate, I think, is that people say you have to have a plan B for your direct sales company because somebody else is controlling things. And what if Mary Kay goes under? What if any of these other direct sales, kind of talking to our public, our listeners in general, any direct sales company could go under. But But what was the way you were looking at it?
The way that I was looking at it is, I'm going to take a chance on it, because if it does go under, I do still have my plan A at that point.
Well, and your plan A could go at that point.
Everything. It could, So you have to have multiple avenues in my book of where you can go if something happens.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the skills that I am learning that I had in lending played over into skills in a Mary Kay direct sales.
What are those? What kind of skills do you think that you had?
Well, it's relationship building is all it is, really. I get a lot of times I have people say I'm not the salesy type. Well, as a lender and as a banker, I'm not a salesy type either. I find problems and then I find the solutions. And that's the same thing in a direct sales company. You need your eyelashes to look full and, luscious, right? Well, I have the solution. I have a lash intensity mascara, so it's really just finding out what a need is and coming up with the solution. It's not about selling.
Do you think anything in your childhood or growing up before you started in the banking world, do you think that, first of all, did you ever see yourself kind of owning your own business?
I did in a way, because my dad owned Odell's Outdoorsman here in Cookeville, now where the Pancake House is on Willow. I grew up in that entrepreneurial store. I also grew up riding horses, where you learn nothing but responsibility and self-leadership and confidence. And I think those, I watched Margaret Jones at Circle K run a business with 90 horses by herself. I worked at horse camp where we had 22 kids at horse camp each week, and it was just me and her, teaching 22 kids how to ride horses.
And how old were you when you were doing that?
I started at 13.
Wow.
I mean, just helping, and then it became a job. And then I've always been a go-getter, because I think at 15, I got my first job at Dairy Queen while working horses. And then after that, I worked at Bobby Q's for 7 years, and I would literally teach horse camp until about 3:00, go take a shower at Margaret's house, and then run to Bobby Q's for a shift. Yeah. So I've always been a go-getter. I don't like to sit still. I don't know what to do if I have free time. And that's why I love a direct sales, or I love my business, because it fills voids. It keeps me busy and keeps me doing something.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, like I said, creative aspects of, okay, well, today I'm going to make a video on how to apply my makeup, or tomorrow I'm going to make a video on the importance of skincare, or I'm going to host this event. And you're definitely a people person, so that kind of dips into that aspect of your personality.
Right.
So what other strengths do you think you have that have helped you be successful? So you are a Mary Kay car driver.
I am.
Correct?
I am.
Are you on your second car now?
I am on my second car. So I'm going to go back quickly to my story, okay?
Yep.
So I worked the business for a good probably 2 years, building a customer base. And some of those customers I still have today. But then life got really busy. Started having the first kid. I was servicing 9 counties as a lender at Farm Credit. And so I really kind of sat my Mary Kay business to the side. I continued having reorder business. So I stayed a consultant for about 4 years, but I really didn't work the business. And that's the beauty of having this business. That is a little bit different than, say, a true entrepreneur, because you have the ability to push hard or let it lack if need be.
I'm going to debate with you that you can do that with any.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And so I guess when I made the decision, I got pregnant with my second, Riker, who's now 4. And I said, I have been making money as selling, but I need more. I need to help change lives in this too. And that's where the multi-level comes in. And I started adding team members, and from 9 months from me making the decision, I went from an independent beauty consultant through all the promotions, senior consultant, red jacket, to an independent beauty or a sales director, which that means that I'm making a large amount of commission from everyone that's under me. And when I say I got their promotion, basically I took one that wanted more in my group, and she went through an entire qualification period, adding 24 consultants under her.
Wow.
And she has now become her own director. So now she is her own unit. And so as I continue to do that, and I find 10 more consultants that will then add 10, I will then be a national sales director. So nationals make no less than about $150,000 a year and drive a pink Escalade.
Ooh.
So that's the ultimate goal. Like,
So
and I just said this on like live. So, you know, got to do it now.
You want to be the pink Escalade driving around town,
Yes.
so everybody knows.
Yes.
That's Kelly
first,
Sullivan.
yes. First it's going to be the pink Cadillac, and then it will be the pink Escalade.
There you go.
There you go. I've just said it.
You heard it here. We're going to hold you to it.
Yeah, that's right.
So what is most fulfilling to you as a business owner? That mentoring aspect of seeing someone that you've kind of gone through this whole process with, taking someone who's like, I've never worn makeup before at all, and I never knew I had eyelashes look so beautiful. Or just in general, kind of maybe showing your kids, like, I can do this. I can have, you know, my plan A, my plan B, and I can do it all. What's most fulfilling?
You know, what's most fulfilling is showing a woman that she can change her life if she decides it. And it is that mentoring side of it. Now, I love my customers, and I love to see a transformation in them if they choose. And I love for them to love their skin and be happy in it. So that's a hard question because there's so many different levels that I love. So I do love that. But I really love seeing a woman go from, I'm stuck in this job, I can't get a raise, I can't do anything, and then being able to just come to our weekly meeting and work it, and they're paying off bills, they're taking their husband on vacation, and you see their self-confidence go from beaten down to out the roof, I can do anything, and I'm going to share this.
So the other thing that I'm going to ask as a mentor, I do believe that there are some people that are not necessarily meant to do direct sales.
Absolutely.
And that's probably huge for you to say, because I think it's always, everybody can do this and everybody can make the money. And it's always this rose colored glasses kind of thing. But there are some situations where I think people kind of get, you know, if I don't have the grit that you have, I look at like, I just want to do this overnight. And I might not have that drive. And so what are some ways to kind of self-assess to know, is this truly something that is going to get me to where I want to be, or is this going to put me in the hole farther? Because that is a huge risk.
It is.
That people think, well, I can just overnight be like Kelly, and but I don't have the drive.
But in the interview process that I have with each consultant, because and I said this on the Instagram not long ago, as a direct seller, I get the opportunity to choose my customers and choose my teammates. So in our interview process that we have, I really sit down and I ask them some hard questions of, you know, what do you do when you run up against a wall? Do you turn away and you just quit, or do you push through it? So we ask those questions to make sure that this is going to fit for them. But, you know, in a direct sales business, if it doesn't fit for you for what you're wanting, you're still going to get products at a good price, and there's no blood on the wall.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's working through, and people have to play ball with you too. You know, if you're willing to coach them, but they're not willing to do the work. And I am probably one that say this isn't for everybody.
Have you
you have to like people.
Yeah.
Some people join and they really don't like people, and you have to like people.
Do you think that you have to really believe in your products too? Like,
100%.
I mean, I think there's been situations where people I know have said, "Oh, you'd be great at this," and it's like, but that's not really a product that I'm interested in.
You're right. You have to love the product. Because if you went to a movie that you absolutely loved, or let's just say a new restaurant came in town, you're more than likely going to tell everybody, you should go to, what's a restaurant that you went recently?
There's lots.
Okay.
So I'm a foodie.
Yeah. So, and that's why I switched from movie to food. But if there was, you're going to tell a million people about it.
World Foods might be one of my favorites. It's just on the street. So.
Yeah. BJ's always told me about their pizza, and I've still never had it.
Oh,
we're going to have a lunch date.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody, and I get that. But you don't know that until you try.
Yeah.
And this is a strength that I have that is not teachable, but I can really have a conversation with someone and be able to tell you if you'd be good at it or not.
What do you do? So, mentoring is a little bit of that mothering aspect of life. And so how do you have that hard conversation with somebody and say, hey, you're going down a path that is going to be destructive to your finances if you
Right.
don't, I mean, I think that would be really difficult to put somebody in that position, a woman that feels like she's trying to better herself and no, she's not doing the things that's going to put her on that better path.
Right.
Do you have a conversation with her and say, maybe you need to get out, maybe you're in over your head, or maybe I can help you along the way?
Yes. So and I don't, if you've never read the book, Crucial Conversations, it is an amazing book that kind of talks you through how to have a conversation in a way it's more of a coaching, and it's questions like, if I was observing something about you, would you be willing for me to share it? So you're basically asking permission instead of being like, girl, I think you should do this. No, you're asking permission, because when they open up and they're like, I never even thought that. I never even saw that.
So that book sounds like it could be really useful to you in being a branch manager of a bank as well.
Absolutely.
So what are some skills that you've taken from Mary Kay that have translated into being a good team leader at the bank?
I think one of the biggest things is that our group at First Volunteer works so well together, because I have coached, in Mary Kay, I coach volunteers. They can come and they go as they please. But in my banking world, I look at it the same way. I coach volunteers. Yes, they're my employees, but I really want them to love their job. So I dig deep. What do they want in life? So, all the skills that I'm trying to find out through the consultants in my direct sales, I'm trying to find out those same things and develop my people at the bank. And when I develop my people, it develops the experience for my customers. And I partner with my business customers to see how I can make them successful. Because I am passionate about success, not only my own, but I'm passionate about business owners. I'm passionate about Cookeville success. I love to see people grow and develop.
Yeah. You're listening to Powered by Her in the Hints and Oakley Podcast Center. We have Kelly Sullivan with Mary Kay here in Cookeville today. What made you feel like I made it? Or maybe you haven't felt like that yet. Or do you feel like, I guess the pink Escalade is going to be...
It's going to be. So, I think this is one thing that's awesome, is that, you may not sell anything for 2 weeks and you sell a mascara and you're like, yes, I made it. Or when we earned our second car, our Equinox, and I had she was 6 at the time, Bella, behind me. And we have a picture of us just cheering like we did it, because it's a family goal.
Yeah.
My kids get to ride my Equinox every day. My dogs get to ride in it too. And it's 100% paid for. I don't have to pay for it. So that was a huge, and you know what? People look more. Oh, this is funny. I'll share this with you. My husband, I've been in the company for 10 years now. Until I earned my first car, I don't even know that he used a Mary Kay product. And when I started using got my Mary Kay car, BJ is like all out Mary Kay products now. And he even sells men's eye cream for me and the shave gel. But, big trophies like that speak.
Yeah.
But I don't think that and I think every entrepreneur would say this, there's never I've made it point. There's always going to be more.
I think the more veteran, seasoned entrepreneurs will say that. The young kids will say, oh, this is when I've made it. I made it when I get to 100 customers. I made it when,
Those are just milestones we want to hit.
Yeah, benchmarks. And actually, Larry Stone had said, running a business is like a bunch of plateaus. So you get to a plateau and you say, okay, I'm here. I'm good. Let's make sure I'm doing this the best way I can. And then you build up to another plateau, and let's make sure that this is really successful before growing a successful business is not just, a positive slope. I think that the steps is really important to make sure, okay, because you can set yourself up for a huge crash if you don't take time for those plateaus.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that analogy. And, I was sitting there thinking, because even sometimes you'll get on that platform and then you're going to go down a few steps before you go back up.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a good thing.
But then you can make adjustments in your business.
Absolutely.
And you can say, okay, here's the things that are working well. Here's the things I need to adjust. And okay, now I'm ready to make that next jump to the next plateau. Here's my next goal, and here's how I'm going to reach it. And so that's really, really important to take that time to assess yourself along the way.
I love that. I love that a lot.
I did too. So what's next for you? What other kind of, like I said, it's very interesting to me to see the different creative ways you market things and the different events that you do. And you are all the time having events out there that you're bringing people into your workspace at the Biz Foundry.
Yes.
And, what can we see in the next 6 to 12 months from Kelly's Classics?
The next big thing is actually right around the corner. On the 20th, we're having a Mary Kay Spa Day. So we're going to have basically beauty stations set up. We're even having a massage therapist come in, give some extra love and attention. That's on the 20th, and it's going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's the next big event. But our Kelly's Classics group, and that's our name, is we're actually in a doubling and tripling movement right now. So we're looking to increase our numbers drastically over the next 6 to 12 months, where I had talked about moving to that national. That's kind of my next big aha. That's when I will feel like I've made it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be about 15 months to 24 month kind of haul that we're about to enter into. Actually, we've started now. And we also requalify for our car. It's not something they give you. You have to keep going. We start requalifications for our car in October. So if you see this town painted pink, you're going to know why. And it's because we're in a huge
October
increase.
is Breast Cancer Awareness
It
Month
is,
as
so it's
well,
going to be perfect.
Just goes hand in
You
hand.
need to be perfect.
So, what do you think? Do you get these ideas to have a spa day? Do you get them from other American Kay consultants, or is this are you just very creative in how to service women in the area?
I have creative consultants. I'll say that.
A great team.
Yeah, a great team, because I will never say I do it by myself, because I don't. And they are very creative. We have a new consultant that's coming in who's the massage therapist, and it was kind of their partnership that they said, hey, why don't we do this? And I said, okay, great. And so we're just kind of creating it and moving from there, and we're always looking for different ideas or fun things to draw people in.
What made you back onto the career path of Mary Kay? So you stopped the credit agency at one point.
Farm Credit, yep.
Farm Credit, to focus solely on Mary Kay. Mm-hmm. And then you had the successful Mary Kay business going.
I did. And
you said, hey, I think I'm going to go back and get a full-time job at a bank.
So I'm more of a people person than I realized. And so even though I really enjoyed the time raising my youngest, I knew that I needed to be back in the public a little bit more than what I was. And so it just kind of I actually wasn't going to go back into lending until I met Delilah Clark from First Volunteer Bank. And she just and actually my dad too, because I was going to go into just being a teller, just going back and to get in the public, but maybe not necessarily with that responsibility, if we're just being honest here. And my dad, when I told him when I was going to plan, he looked at me and he said, well, why would you do that? He said, you have skills and talents that need to be seen and used. And I was like, oh, Dad. So, and this just, I did go back into lending, and then they asked me to take the branch over. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I love my customers. I love my staff. I love seeing everyone develop. And I love getting Cookeville to know who First Volunteer is.
Well, and you're able to really impact this community from that position that you wouldn't be able to necessarily if you were just a teller. Not just a teller, but, you're able to sponsor events in town and be involved. Yes. And we worked on different things between the Children's Museum and the Biz Foundry, and where you wouldn't have been able to do those things.
Absolutely.
So do you think how did you kind of know to listen to yourself to know, this is something I need to do? Because I think women have a hard time listening. Your body, your spirit, your soul might be telling you to do something, but it's like, but I still have kids at home and they're still little. Yeah. And how do you make that decision?
That's that mom guilt that comes in that we really shouldn't feel.
We never can get rid of.
Yeah. But, I have a huge support system in Cookeville that I know a lot of people don't have. But I have a huge support system that my kids love to be with them. And if it was putting a lot of stress on me being at home. And it was amazing just the difference in the way I felt. the way that I acted when I did take a job again. And, that's not to say that I'll be there forever. But for this life, for this time, there's a reason I am there. Yeah.
This season, I think sometimes we think as moms, well, if I do this or I'm working full time, it takes away from me as a mother. And sometimes it really can make you a better mother.
It does, because I'm happy when I get home. My kids get to see me achieve things. So through Mary Kay and through the bank, when I have these big goals, and BJ would tell you, one of my dining room walls, it literally has goal posters all over it. So when somebody walks in, they're probably like, you just used your dining room wall. But, that's where I see it. And so my kids get to see that every day.
Have you started goal writing with your kids yet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So Bella has a jar. We actually, Saturday, they got to go shopping with their money. So they do little things, and they know that they have to achieve so much before there's a certain toy that they want. Because I don't want them to think that everything's given to them in life, because it's not. You got to work hard for it.
Yeah, so. That's very true. And that's, I think, listening to yourself and kind of letting go of that guilt overall, and just knowing you're going to do what's best for your business.
Right.
So, any advice that you would give to anyone in general thinking about going into direct sales or an MLM business, not just Mary Kay, but in general?
In general, I would say make sure, number one, that you love the product. And if you aren't using them currently, to go out and find which one you love. Because if you don't love it, you're not going to sell it. My second would be to go and dig into that company, see how long they've been around, see how credible they are. I know many of the companies have been around for a very long time. Tupperware's been around for a long time. Mary Kay's been around for 55 years. Pampered Chef's been around for a very long time. Do your research on them. But really, it's kind of a heart decision on direct sales. Honestly, I think you've got to have that heart, and the finance decision is it going to make you money? Yeah. We do it for fun sometimes, but ultimately it's to make you money and income.
How important have you found? So you've kind of started surrounding yourself with other female entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Not in Mary Kay.
Yes.
What have you gained from that aspect of?
I think you always have to have a sounding board, and other women in different areas. I know our Ladies Lunch and Learn, just being able to talk to others that are struggling, talk to others that are unsuccessful. At our weekly meeting, we say that if you've had a really good week, the meeting needs you. And if you've had a really bad week, you need the meeting. And so the same thing goes with you and your circle of friends. You are like the most 5 people that you're around the most, right? And so if you're around a bunch of people that have no goals and dreams, all they're doing is dragging you down. You need to be around people that have bigger dreams than you, greater dreams than you, that are going to push you, that are going to call you out when you're not doing what you're supposed to, whether they're in your line of business or not. I think that is a crucial aspect of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, to gain. And I think there's things that maybe, you don't think about in makeup, but maybe in artistry.
Absolutely.
That, oh, wow, I could use that, but I never thought of it because I'm so streamlined into what I'm doing.
Right.
So there's a lot of camaraderie that can help.
Absolutely.
Help out. So let us know, how can we connect with you? So Kelly's Classics.
Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram, which is The Life to Live, I think. I don't have to change that. My cell phone number is 931-319-0886. It is a banking line and a Mary Kay line, and you'll hear that on my voicemail.
There you go.
You can follow me on Facebook, and you can also go to my website, www.kellysullivan.pink. Yeah. She was like, oh,
I was like, .pink.com?
Nope. KellySullivan.pink. Nice. And then my shopping website, which you can also get through, is marykay.com/KBraswell4.
K Braswell.
Yeah. Just find me on Facebook or come to the bank, and you can connect with me.
There you go. So you've heard it here. Thank you for listening to Powered by Her in the Hints and Oakley Podcast Center. Thank you for being here today, Kelly, and telling us about your journey.
It was so much fun. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.